Welcome back, friends, to Build a Lot Acres. In today's episode, we're going to look at the Ford 1700. Please stay tuned. Back in the late 1970s and early 1980s, Ford started having their tractors made by a Japanese company called Shibawa. Shibawa went into business approximately in 1950 in Tokyo, Japan. So a lot of the Ford tractors from that era, like the 100 series or the 10 series and the 20 series, were actually made in Japan. But let's go over some of the specs and we'll take a look at the Ford 1700. So the 1700 has a 25 horsepower Shibawa engine. It's a 2-cylinder diesel engine. Weighs approximately 2,400 pounds in 2-wheel drive configuration. The 4-wheel drive is about 150 pounds heavier. It came with two different styles of tires. It came with these turf tires, 13.6 16s, or you can get ag tires, 11.2 24s. So the ag tires are going to be taller and narrower, and the turf tires are a little shorter and more squat. These are really meant for lawn mowing and things where you don't need a ton of traction. If you needed to go in the woods or anything where you needed more traction, you'd be better off with ag tires. This tractor has been great for us. It's done a lot of jobs. It does have some front weights in addition to the roof. As it sits right now, it weighs about 27 to 2,800 pounds between the tractor, the roof, the 3-point hitch, the front weights. So it's capable of doing a lot of work. Really reminds me of an overgrown garden tractor, if I'm going to be honest. We do have a category 1 3-point hitch, which is the industry standard for these size tractors. It's the most common category for tractors in general. There's a wide variety of tractors that fall in that range, anywhere from about 18 horsepower up to sometimes 55 or 60 horsepower. Once you go over that, you start getting into category 2, bigger. But this, like I said, this hitch is rated to pick up about 1,577 pounds, I believe, 24 inches back. It does have a standard 540 PTO. They're not telescoping arms or anything like that, like we saw in the Coyote in the previous video. If you haven't watched that, please check it out. So it's definitely limited and more basic than what the Coyote is going to do, but it's also a much older machine and it's a lot cheaper. I paid $1,800 for this tractor a few years ago. So for $1,800, you can't touch anything with a loader like the Coyote or 4-wheel drive. But for $1,800, you could also spend that on a good garden tractor. So if you're going to compare this to garden tractors in that price range, it's going to do a lot more work than a garden tractor. You can pull a big York rake or a plow, or you could mow a lot quicker. There's a lot more options. You could run a tiller or a seeder on a 3-point hitch. You can have much bigger implements than a garden tractor is going to have. So one of the things I like about the Ford, if you compare it to some older tractors like a 8N or a 9N, where they're kind of limited in the gear options, this has a lot of options for your gears. You have 3 speeds with 4 ranges, so you have a total of 12 forward gears and 4 reverse gears. So pretty much any job you're going to do, you can apply the correct gear ratio to match that job. It's a great transmission and it's been great for us. Now, this particular tractor is one of my personal favorite tractors here at Build a Lot Acres. I just think it's a nice in-between size. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's nimble, it turns sharply. I just like it. It's a 1980 tractor, so it's not the oldest tractor we have on staff. Our oldest tractor is actually the SS14 Sears that you've seen in some of the intros blowing snow. tractor, believe it or not, is 50 years old this year. It just really goes to show the amount of toughness and durability these old garden tractors have. It's incredible. 50 years after it's made, it's still being used to blow. I think in that video there was around 14 inches of snow. It's just mind-boggling to me. When you look at some of the new stuff made, it's pretty much meant to be thrown away after a few years and replaced. The old stuff is just meant to go and go, like the Energizer Bunny. It's really incredible. What are your thoughts, Brett?
So actually, it's kind of ironic that you said that this is one of your favorites at Bulldog Acres, because other than my tractor, this is my single favorite tractor at Bulldog Acres. I absolutely love it. Just everything about it, like you said, the turning, the handling, everything about it, it's awesome. This really is just an amazing tractor.
I think it's one of the coolest looking tractors we have. Like I said, how it looks like an overgrown garden tractor, and the roof. It's just a cute little tractor, but it really does a lot of work.
It probably is one of our most used at Bulldog Acres too, other than the Coyote, of course.
I mean, obviously, it's not going to do what a big four-wheel drive 6,000-7,000 pound tractor is like the Coyote.
I mean, granted, obviously, like some small Cub Cadets, some Searses, stuff like that, yeah, they're going to be cheaper, but if you want a nice Simplicity or Ingersoll, or even a nice wheel horse of John Deere, you can expect to pay right in half to $2 grand for it.
I would agree with that, especially John Deere. If you get into something like a John Deere 318, which is one of the most popular John Deere garden tractors ever made, those sell for $1,800 all day long, sometimes more. And those are not going to do anywhere near what this is going to do. So if you're going to compare this to other tractors in the price category it's in, it's really a good deal.
And the other nice thing about it is everything on it is Japanese, and so it means it's extremely reliable. Not once has anything ever broken.
Knock on wood. Why don't we start her up and give her a spin and show you some of its features. Well, thanks for watching our video on the Ford 1700. We hope you learned something and you enjoyed it.
We both sure did.
So if you want more videos, please subscribe and give us comments and feedback below. Have a great day, friends.